Alright, hey, it's Mick here, and so today I will be installing a Shinko 524. It's like the companion to the 525 kind of cheater tire. I've actually ran the 525 in my KLX and I like it a lot, but they don't have a 525. That's the rear. They don't have the 525 for the Light Bee because the Light Bee only uses freaking front tires. But anyway, I'll be installing it in a 70-119. Alright, the stock Sur Ron tire size. We'll be replacing this Kenda Trackmaster 2. I'm just going to do a quick accelerated video of me uninstalling this and I'll tell you how it was. I don't think it'll be hard. I did install an 80-121 of this tire on a 21-inch rim, but it did not fit my bike. But I did note that it was really easy to install on the rim. Okay, so I'm hoping that's the same case for this. Okay, so I'm kind of doing it outside. It's a nice like mild weather today, not too hot, so I decided to do it in my my driveway here. Okay, I've been leaving the tire out in the sun so it gets a little softer. Okay, so there is a rotation on this. All right, so since this is a front tire, I think this is it should say front tire on it. It says tube type only, not for highway use. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is a front tire, so we got to install this backwards. Okay, so so there's a rotation here. Honestly, I don't even see it doesn't look like there's a tread pattern to it anyway, so it's like I don't think it makes a difference, but I'm going to install it backwards because it's going to go on the back. All right, so I've got, leave that down there for it to soak in some more sunlight. I got my tools here, and we'll install this tire. All right, so first we're going to uninstall this. One thing I'd like to note is the valve stem is moved. It's a little crooked on this. That means even with the valve, even with the rim lock on there, the wheel still moved on the wheel. All right, because that Light Bee's putting out a lot of torque and power. It can do that. That's what I'm gonna say. Okay, and Hayesmaker rides it hard. Okay, that's what I'm gonna say. All right, it's been a while since I've installed anything with a rim lock, so yeah, this should be interesting. All right. So, yeah, okay, I'm just gonna speed this portion up, and then I'll let you guys know how it was taking this guy out. The main purpose of this video is to install the 524 and show you how easy or how hard it is to install it. All right, and just remember that that's a front tire. I think I have the receipt. Okay, I don't know if you can see it too well, but here it says Shinko tire 524 series front. Okay, so if it's for the front and we're gonna use it on the rear, we need to flip it over. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do. Okay, here we go. Alright, Hazemeg is having a hard time here, alright, I'm not gonna lie. It's not a good tire install day for me. Alright, so first of all, I ripped the tube pulling the tube out of the wheel. It got ripped on the freaking the rim lock, okay? And this is a heavy duty tube. It's more expensive and it's beefier, and I messed it up, so yeah, it ripped right here. I think I'm gonna go get a new tube. Alright, I don't wanna have a dirt wheel with a big old hole like that in it. So I think it ripped when I was trying to pull it. I think it got caught on the rim lock and it ripped it. So that's a shame because the tube is the rest of the tube is in good shape. What the heck, man? So I'm gonna have to go buy a new tube before I install the new tire. Okay, so that's a bummer. So that's gonna go in the garbage now. Could I patch that? Yeah, I could probably patch it, but like the patch may fail later, and I don't want something like that happening. Especially with the off-road wheel like this, you're like in the middle of nowhere on the trail. You don't want anything to go bad with the tube. Okay, so the tube hung in there for a while. That's a shame that I ripped it pulling it out. It happens sometimes, guys. So. And then the next problem, I dropped my freaking wheel. All right, I dropped my wheel. I tried to move the stand so it wasn't in isn't in the shadow so much, and then I dropped my stand came apart, and I dropped my wheel on the floor, and it landed on the sprocket side. So the sprocket side is stronger and beefier. I don't know. I may have bent the sprocket. I'm not sure. I hope not, because I don't have another sprocket. And then yeah, it's a good thing I didn't drop it on the brake rotor side, because the brake rotors are real fragile. That's what I'm gonna say. But hopefully I didn't bend the sprocket, all right, because it hit the ground pretty hard. That's what I'm gonna say. Okay, so I think it looks like it landed on the nut, because I can see marks on the nut here. So I think it's fine. I looked at it. It looks flat. Okay, so anyway. So uninstalling this thing, yeah, it was kind of hard, man, because it was kind of old and crusty. I found a bunch of dirt inside of it. It was hard to work with the rim lock. That's what I'm gonna say. The rim lock always makes it harder to work with. That's what I'm gonna say. Initially I had a hard time spooning it off of the rim. But it was, and once I got about halfway, it was pretty easy, and I flipped it over and I did it again. So one of the things you got to do is, oh yeah, so you got to work from the other side of the rim lock to the rim lock. Is what you got to do. And then when you're installing it, you got to start from the rim lock and then work your way the other way. That's the way I do it. The rim lock makes it harder, and since the tire is so skinny, it's hard to get the tube out of there. And the tube is a heavy duty tube, so that doesn't make it easy too. So yeah, this is like the hardest, one of the hardest tire installs that you could do on a Sur Ron, okay? With the rim lock, with the heavy duty tube, and the skinny Sur Ron wheels, okay? So, but for the most part, it came off pretty easily once I got both sides spooned up, all right? So I don't think I can, I'll have to wait until tomorrow to install the Shinko 524. I guess I might have to go to the motorcycle store and buy a new tube, because that tube is SOL. Or I could find another tube, but let me see if I got another tube around. If I got one that's not like the stock Sur Ron one, the stock Sur Ron one is kind of thin. I don't like the Sur Ron ones, but I do like using the Sur Ron ones for spare tubes. Is what I'm saying. So because they're lightweight. So yeah. But yeah, it happens. What are you gonna do? It did look like it was pretty kind of tore up, is what I'm gonna say, around where the rim lock was. So yeah, that probably contributed. I think it got hung up on the rim lock, and I pulled it, and it just ripped it. So what are you gonna do? All right, so I guess the 524 tire install is gonna be postponed until I can get a new tube. All right. Bummer, Hazemeg out, but that's the tire right there. There's no cuts on it or anything. It's just the knobs are in really bad shape. That's all. Not too bad. It's a pretty tough tire. All right, Hazemeg here. So what Hazemeg is gonna do is I'm gonna go get the tube after I install half of the tire onto the rim, okay? Pretty much at the point that we need to start putting the tube in, I'm gonna stop right there, okay? So I already got all my stuff out. I kind of keep on wanting going. I do have some 21-inch tubes, but they're the thin kind, the regular duty tubes. For the rear tire, I want a heavy duty tube, okay? If you want to carry a regular duty tube for your spare tube, that's fine, but I don't recommend you not using a heavy duty tube in the rear, okay? They're just, you know, they're just beefier and they're stronger. I've never had a problem with this one. This is still in great shape except for where the rim lock sits. So that rim lock, not a happy camper. It's not. They don't work together very well. Okay. Anyway, I'm gonna go install the tire on the rim real quick, and then I'll head on out and get a tube. All right. Let's go. Okay. Let's get ready. So before I install, put the tire in the rim, I'm gonna go put some baby powder in it like usual. All right. Just make his little baby powder trick here. Make a big baby powder mess in the driveway. Okay. Baby powder's right here. I know you guys can see it. Okay. So let's take a look at this tire before. So this is actually a directional knobby tire. Okay, I don't know why, because it doesn't look directional at all. But if you look here, so the wheel on the Sur Ron should spin this way. Okay, I'm looking at it right now. It goes this way. Okay, it goes clockwise. So this is for a front tire, so you want to flip it opposite. So where is that? Oh, right here. Okay, there's a rotation symbol right here. Okay, you look right there. There's a rotation symbol and it's going that way. Okay, so this has got to spin. This is going to spin this way. Okay, so this is correct. If this is the front, this is correct. But if this is the rear, you got to flip it. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to flip it. All right, cool. All right, let's hop to it. Talk you through what I'm doing. So we just baby powered the rim and we set the tire up in the right direction. Okay, it's supposed to spin this way. All right, and this is a front tire, so it's got to be installed backwards because we're going to put it on the rear tire. Okay, so I'm going to go lube up this. This is some Nomar. I know people ask me what I'm using. This is some Nomar tire paste mixed with water. Okay. I made a video about it, but I haven't posted it yet. All right, so this has a rim lock. This is a little bit more difficult. So I got the rim lock right here. What I'm going to do is push the rim lock out and then press the tire onto there already. Okay, and make sure this isn't seated. Okay, and then so we're going to start from where the rim lock is. Okay, did you get that? let me do it from a different angle. It's kind of difficult stuff. Okay. All right, so there's the rim lock. The rim lock always makes things more difficult, but I highly suggest you run one if you're going to do some hardcore off-road riding. Okay, so there's the rim lock. We're going to make sure, normally it's down like that, and that's how it holds your tire to the rim, but we're going to press this out. All right, and then we're going to push the bottom part like that. Okay, and then we're going to want to make sure this is not on top here. We want to make sure it's on the other side. Okay, and then we're going to slip that in. Okay, and then that's how we're going to start. Okay, have at it. Okay, let's see how easy we can do this. So we're just going to put this part of, we're going to put one half of the tire bead on the rim, and then that's it, because that's the point where you need the tube. So so we want to push this in all the way and then start walking on. And what I do is I use my thumbs and I press it in. Since I lubed it, it slips over nicely. Okay. Easy piece of cake. All right, and that means that's pretty much we're done. We're done for today. Now I gotta go buy a tube. All right, so at this point what we'd have to do is we'd have to get the tube. All right, we would use our fishing tool to get the valve stem in here. All right, and then we would put the tube inside, and then we would start spooning it on, all right? And then that's pretty much it. Yeah, it's just not too hard, guys. But yeah, that was really easy. Okay, I'm really impressed how easily that went on. So this is definitely doesn't look like it's going to be a very difficult tire to install. Okay, but I'm in the next clip, I will have a new heavy-duty tube to put in here. Okay, and then we'll finish installing this. All right, here's what I got. Alright, hey, it's me here, and it's the next day and I got a new tube, okay? I think it's the exact same tube that I had last time, because it looks almost the same. So I got this guy for 15 bucks, not bad, because the next one up, the super heavy duty enduro tube or whatever, was like 30 bucks. I was like, nah, I don't really want to pay 30 bucks for a tube. That's literally almost how much a tire costs, man. So yeah, anyway, I got one of these double tough tubes from Cycle Gary left yesterday. All right, they had a bike night also, so but I wasn't there for the bike night. I went there to buy a freaking tube. All right, so there it is. I got a new tube. All right, so that's to replace this guy. $15, it's not bad. I guess it could use a replacement. So I looked at it, and this guy looks like a pretty heavy-duty tube. All right, it says standard duty on the box, but this is thicker than like your normal tube, okay? It's thicker than the stock Sur Ron tubes, I'll tell you that. So I will go run it in the rear, okay? So that's okay. I don't mind if as long as it's thicker than stock, you know, it's not super thin, it's fine, all right? I would call this a heavy duty tube, all right? This is what you would be like a heavy duty tube, all right? So that's what it looks like. Okay, so let's go install it. So where we left off is I had installed half the tire. We got to install the other half. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to put some baby powder all over this tube so it's nice and slippy. All right. Okay. Getting baby powder all over everything, Merlin. I should probably just put some air in it, you know? Okay. I got baby powder all over my RAV4 now. Alright. There's already baby powder in the tire, so here we go. Oh yeah, let me get my compressor ready. Alright. I got the compressor running. I got my tube all powdered up. Alright, so we're going to take the cover off and the new nut. We're going to take one of the nuts off. Make sure that's on there good. And then we're going to start feeding this tube into the tire. Should we start where the rim lock is? I guess so. So the tire is cooled down quite a bit. Actually, don't start at the rim locks. I'm going to start here at the valve stem. I'm going to use my fishing tool here. Don't worry, the compressor will turn off eventually. Actually, I think it's simpler if you do it opposite way. Let's try it. So I'm kind of like looking at the hole right now. I'm just going to stick it through the hole right here. Alright. Oh no, Hazemoga always struggles trying to get this fishing tool in there. So what I did is I put it in there and I let it come off the other end, alright? And then all I gotta do is tuck it under here. Sorry, my battery ran out. So anyway, so what I'm doing here is I've put the fishing tool in through the rim, through the hole, and all I gotta do now is stick it up past the bead on the tire and then try to find it on the other side. But this way it's not that hard to locate it, at least I think. Wish me luck. So I've already kind of found it, and we're gonna go push it into the tire somehow. It's still kind of hard, guys. Oh, there we go. Lucky. All right. So now we're gonna go. Oh, I forgot. I missed the step. New tube. It has a new valve core. Okay. I'll install this bad boy. Next is we're going to feed this guy into here. Like so. Try to get it to the rim. Okay. I think we might have it. Yep. It wants to immediately go back in. Anyway, let's feed it the rest of the way. Okay, I'm going to be very careful feeding it on top. Got to make sure it's on top of the rim lock. These freaking rim locks, man, I'm telling you. Just make sure you don't pinch the tube on top on the rim lock. So you just make sure it's on top of the rim lock. All right, I'm gonna go feed it the rest of the way in. This is still a pretty beefy tube, so it may be a little hard to work with. That's what I'm gonna say. I probably should have changed the rim strip too. I did not. Maybe the next time we change tires. Let's make sure it's tucked into the rim. It's not wanting to stay inside there. Double checking it's over the rim lock. Okay, I think we got it. I'm gonna pull this bad boy out and get the nut ready. Okay. Put the nut before it sinks back in there. Okay, I'm gonna try to tighten it by hand as much as I can, which isn't very much. Sorry, stuff is falling on my driveway is a little bit inclined. That's what I want to say. Okay, let's just make sure the valve stem is nice and straight when I put it on. If anything, you want to angle it away from where the tire spins, so if it does spin, you won't bust it. Okay, so I'm going to put a little bit of air in it, is what I always do to prevent it from pinching. Okay. Okay. Put some air in. Okay. I think that's good. Just to make sure that rim lock is happy. Okay, yeah, it looks fine. So we're going to inflate it and deflate it later to make sure everything stays in there. Alright, so that looks like it's ready to go. Okay, so now we're going to go spoon it on. To help with that, we're going to lube it up. Okay. I've lubed the bead up, and let's go. Okay, we're going to start opposite of the rim lock and work our way to the rim lock. Trying not to pinch the tube while we're at it. The last time I installed one of these tires, okay, it was pretty good. It's pretty easy, so I'm hoping this will be just as easy. Okay, let's go this way. Okay. Okay. Okay, it's behaving itself. Could be because I lubed it. I don't know. I'll go work on it with the aluminum one until we can't do it anymore. It helps to kind of wiggle the spoon a little bit too, so it doesn't catch the tube. All right, we're here at the valve stem already. It's fast. Another thing is, if you do pinch a tube, you'll know you pinched a tube because you'll hear air rushing out of it. If you put air in it. Okay. Let's do one more on this side. Okay. So. Oh boy, that does not want to go in. Maybe this tube is too wide. It's kind of weird. It has like a little reinforcement thingy where the tube is, or where the stem is. Okay. Push this in. Oh no. It's not wanting to go in. It's pretty easy to install tire. Okay, so it looks like the bead is trying to seat, so let's not let it do that. So from the opposite area, we're gonna go put my bead pro in. Okay. Okay. Guess we can start using our steel one. this side. So what it looks like is whenever I'm pushing one side on, the other side wants to come off, so I'm going to push down on this so it doesn't pop out. Okay. One more. It's getting really tight now. Okay. Okay, that's really tight. Okay, so now is when we need to start making sure this thing doesn't seat. So far it's been behaving itself pretty well. Okay. Okay. Really tight now. Let's move back here. Okay. I think my lube is starting to dry, so I'm going to add a little more lube. I think we got to do one more bite. So, what I'm going to do is we got to push up on this rim lock somehow. The rim lock always makes it harder, guys. If you know what you're doing, it shouldn't be so bad. Yeah, that sucker don't want to move, man. Pretty sure one more bite will do it. No? Press on this side. I need to press up on the rim lock, but I can't do it because it won't let me. See, Hazelmaker's having a little trouble here. Okay, I'm pushing the rim lock up. There we go. Okay. Push the rim lock up. I think it got stuck or something. I hope it didn't pinch the tube or anything, but so now push up on this. Let's push up on this. So we got to push up on the rim lock. Okay. And then spoon this downward. There we go. Okay. Da-da-da! Okay. It looks like this thing is crooked, man. What happened, man? Like, what happened here? The valve stem is hella crooked. So I'm gonna go walk around it and just take a little peep to make sure that the tube isn't sticking out from between the rim and the bead. It looks good. I don't see any tubes sticking out of it. I think that looks good. Okay, I'm gonna tighten this valve stem. This tube kind of doesn't fit very good in this ring. Maybe I should get a thinner one next time. There's one size smaller than this one, you know. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna tighten this, and then we're going to inflate it a bunch of times. We're kind of like 90% there. And then I gotta balance it. You don't really have to balance it if it's a dirt bike wheel because you're kind of not going that fast, but Hayes Mega goes fast on this sometimes, so sure, why not? I have the ability to balance it, so I will. Okay, so I'm gonna add some air and then take the valve stem out, valve core. It looks like it's already seated. Yeah, wow, that was easy. That seated really easy. No worries there. Let's check the other side out. Yeah, it looks good. It's already on there. It's already been seated nicely. The only place it kind of doesn't seat very good is the valve stem. Yeah, it's like really crooked, man. This freaking thing, man. Alright. What I'm going to do is I'm going to tighten that valve stem. Okay, so hopefully when we start inflating, I'm going to inflate and deflate it a bunch of times. Hopefully all the tube, the problem is we got the rim lock here, and that kind of acts as like like it gets hung up there. Okay, it's like a hook, you know. I'm gonna take this valve stem out. This thing keeps on moving. Okay. Gonna inflate it and deflate it 4 times. To about 60 psi, I guess, would be good. Okay. I'm going to go and put the valve stem back in, the valve stem core. Okay. And I'm going to inflate it to about 50 psi. Just leave it there for a while. And what I'm going to do is loosen this to make sure it's straight. I don't know what it is, I can't get these valve stems to be like perfectly straight, man. It's always crooked in one direction. Okay, anyway, for the most part, I'm pretty much done. The last thing to do would be to tighten the rim lock. I'm gonna keep on inflating and deflating this, and hopefully I can get this valve stem to straighten out, okay? But right now it's like kind of facing this way, all right? Okay, so yeah, that's pretty much it right there. Man, this wheel is really banged up. That is just got baby powder all over it. So there it is. I didn't pinch the tube. That's good. It's holding air. fine. It's seated really nicely. It was really easy. I think next time I'm going to use a skinnier tube, because this valve stem, it doesn't want to come in straight. It's always crooked. Okay, and I noticed this part, the part right here on the stem, it doesn't like to seat very. It's like, I think it's too wide. See, they reinforced it. They put a lot of thicker rubber around the valve stem, and I think that's causing it to come out crooked like that. Okay, so I don't know what to do, guys. Shouldn't do that. So for the most part, it's straight, but like I said, to help fix that, you could inflate it and deflate it a bunch of times, and hopefully it'll straighten out. I'm just going to continue to do that until it straightens out. And then the last thing you would do is you would tighten this rim lock, okay, so your tire won't slip, and tighten it down real good, okay, because the Light Bee has like massive torque, dude. It'll spin that sucker, dude. Okay, there you go. So that is the Shinko 524 installed on the rear with a rim lock. All right. The Shinko 524, from my experience, okay, I installed the 8121 524, and it was easy to install. All right, and this was easy to install too. Okay, so this one didn't really fight me all that much, is what I'm gonna say. It's not that warm today. Okay, it's not that hot today, so the tire isn't super duper. It could have been easier to install, is what I'm gonna say. Okay, but yeah, I had some problems with the tube. I ripped the tube on the rim lock. All right, so if you're taking the tube out of the tire and you got the rim lock in there, just be very careful. Okay, don't tug. I really tugged on it and it just ripped it. So the edges, it got caught on the edge and I ripped it. So, and if you rip the tube, then you kind of really can't fix it. I guess you could fix it with the patch, but the patch may fail later. I noticed that if you have a big hole and you patch it, that's like a temporary repair, because it's not going to hold. The patch isn't very strong. That's what I'm going to say. Okay, but yeah, the bead seated fine. It already seated before we even inflated it, so that's what I'm going to say. All right, so not too bad. All right, that was a Shinko 524 on the rear of a Sur Ron 19-inch stock Sur Ron 19-inch wheel with a rim lock. All right, and a heavy-duty tube. I would call that a heavy-duty tube. So that is pretty much as hard as you're gonna get on the Sur Ron. I just want to say, but the 524 tire was really easy to work with. I would say that's a good 3 out of 10, with 1 being the easiest and 10 being most difficult. I would say that's a 3, maybe even a 2. It was really easy to work with. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this thing does on the trails. Hopefully it will not wear out as fast as the Trackmaster 2, okay? Or especially like chunking knobs and stuff. Hopefully this won't be chunking knobs. So, all right. Thanks for watching. I hope that was educational and entertaining video. Thanks for watching. That's how you do it. As we go. Or how not to do it.